To put it bluntly,
Accessibility podcast called To Put It Bluntly.
hello everybody, and we are back with episode 3 of To Put It Bluntly Season 2. I am the Wobbly Gamer, and as always, I am joined by my co-host with the most, Mr. Cameron Keywood.
Ooh, thank you. It's a better introduction than last week, where I think you called me like a partner or something.
Well, we have been referred to recently as the Chuckle Brothers of the accessibility scene.
Oh, the
So
Statler and Waldorf.
yeah, we've had a few thrown our way.
I'm the one with the facial hair, obviously.
Yeah, as you just heard a slight smirk and a laugh there, we are joined
Hello.
by the ever incredible Radderss.
Hi,
Um,
it's me.
it's Radderss.
Woo. Also, my jumper is a little goose.
Oh,
Anyway, carry on. Hi.
hold on. Do the sleeves make a goose face? Sorry,
Just the one.
it's just
the
the one.
sleeve.
That's
yeah.
incredible. I mean,
I love him.
yeah, that's all right. Off on a tangent already. That didn't take long. That's got to be a To Put It
No.
Bluntly record.
Yeah.
We've been recording for 1 minute and 10 seconds, and we've got distracted. That's what we like. So, Radderss, me and Cameron know
Yes.
you, but
Yes.
for listeners, they might not. Who is Radderss?
Oh, that is a question, isn't it? That is one for the ages. I honestly don't know. But what I am trying to be is a cool person who is unbothered, moisturized, stays in my lane, fails all the time. I am a disabled content creator. I've been creating content on Twitch for I think it's coming up 10 years in September. So I've been doing this for a decade.
Is that why the moisturizer is always mentioned? Because 10 years of content creation.
I am old.
I'm old.
Wobbles only been doing it for 3 and he's
Yeah,
going
look at
bald.
look at my hairline. Yeah. No, sorry. Carry on.
No, I make content on pretty much any video game that sounds interesting. But my thing is chaos. Like I thrive a little bit in chaos because my brain's always going like all the time. So when the video game is doing that instead, I'm like, oh shit. This is my place. I can function right now. So I love a bit of chaos. And yeah, we pretty much are I've grown this really nice community over the years who are all very wonderful people. And because I'm disabled and a gamer and I was vocal about it, I kind of fell into the accessibility scene as well. So the reason these two lovely hosts know me is through the accessibility scene. I've been doing a lot of accessibility things over the years. The various my lights are useless. You know what? I'm not turning them back on. I'm not doing
Have
it.
they gone off?
Yeah, they just turned off mid-sentence. I was like, why does my camera look weird? No, who cares? You don't need extra light. You just need me. I glow. Woo. Yeah, I don't really know what else. I should probably talk about Nothing Without Us,
We
right?
can move on to that. Let's start with you. How did you end up in content creation? Was it?
It was mostly after I became disabled. Like I was enjoying playing a lot of video games with friends because I was a bit too ill to really do anything else. I couldn't get out of bed very much, couldn't function. I basically was kind of like in the moderate to severe MECFS thing,
Mhm.
where I basically got out of bed once a day to go to the toilet, and that was it. Like I couldn't function. I couldn't really eat very much, and it was just a bad time. And then after a year or two of that, I'd moved back home from university, and I was just kind of living in my bedroom, and a streamer followed me on Twitter, and I was just like, oh, what's streaming? So I went and I started watching their streams, and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. After a couple of months of watching their streams most of the week, I was like, oh, if I can handle sitting up at a PC for an hour, maybe I could stream. And that was it. That was it. And it's turned into all of this. For some reason, people turned up at my first stream. and I haven't had a single 0 viewer stream my entire time streaming. Like, I don't know why, but I don't mind it. Because the whole point of it is to have interactions with people, right? It's to get to know other people, to kind of experience various things in life that I couldn't experience at the time. And I still can't most of the time. But I'm doing a lot better now than I used to. I've had have a nice long 11, 12 years of being ill to like adapt and get used to it all. So yeah.
Do you think streaming has made that process easier on yourself? I know that's quite a deep question, but
Yes and no.
yeah.
I'm gonna be really useless here. Yes and no. Yes, because I got to know other disabled creators, other creators with ME as well. And when there were things that I couldn't understand or I couldn't do, and I was kind of beating myself up about it for not being able to function like an able-bodied creator, those people were there to like remind me, like, hey,
You're
you're
not.
disabled.
Yeah.
Like, you physically can't do the things that they are doing. That doesn't make you a bad streamer. It doesn't make you a bad person. You are just ill. And you're sick 24/7. Like, they don't deal with that. So of course they can do more. Of course they can do these like 24-hour streams, the subathons, the 8 hours a day, 5 days a week sort of like stuff that a lot of these other full-time creators can do. So I've been like, dealing with all of that and had those people there to kind of reassure me. But then also, no, because content creation in general, especially like streaming, is incredibly difficult when you're disabled.
Yeah.
Like, it takes so much energy.
I
It,
remember
it,
I posted on Twitter looking for video. Someone told me video edit, just a little bit here or there. When I first started after like 6 months, and someone kind of pretty much DM'd me and was like, "You don't need a video edit, do it yourself. It's easy." And I was like, he was like, "You're not big enough to need an editor and be paying him." And I was like, "Okay, that's fair enough. It makes sense. Like, he's trying to save me some money and stuff." But I was like, "I can't, because I can stream for 5 hours, but then I can't actually spend another 2 hours editing because I'll be sick in a bucket." And
mm,
Yeah.
it was like that moment of trying to explain to him that, look, yeah, it's all right for you who doesn't wobble or who's not got
yeah,
fatigue cyst problems. You can stream for 6 hours, then edit for 2, and then only sleep for 6 hours, and then get up for work the next morning. I
yeah.
can't do it like that. It doesn't
No.
work like that for me.
No. Except for my weekend streams, I have a day between all of my streams because I can't do it. Like, on my days off, I don't know any single day how much I can handle that day, because the energy levels of my body can just change on a whim. Like, I have a very slight cold. Okay, cool. Minus 30,000 points to energy. Oh, what's this? You had 1 hour less sleep than I like you having? Okay, cool. You're not going to be able to function for 3 days. Like, when your life is so inconsistent, it is almost impossible to be able to put in this like consistent energy that you need for all of the extra things regarding content creation, because they always say, oh, diversify your content. You can't just stream on Twitch. You've also got to be making videos for YouTube and things for like YouTube Shorts and TikTok and Instagram and everywhere else, and you have to be on every platform all the time, or no one will ever find you and find your content, and that is fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
Like, just thinking about it is exhausting, let alone having to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make your entire life creation in all aspects, and the only things you're allowed to do outside of it are like eat and sleep. No.
Yeah.
Like,
I have a
that's not
family.
a healthy way to live. And it's hard enough, trying to figure any of this stuff out when you're disabled, because every other aspect of your life is also impacted by your disability. So if anything outside of your creation happens that it creates a knock-on effect, then that affects your ability to create. So I think we have a very societal issue of like a lack of empathy, of a lack of putting yourself in someone else's shoes to try and figure out why they might need the editor, or they might need help in some form.
Yeah. Prime example of that, I saw Wobble share is somebody saying about free school meals, and they were saying, "Oh, why should we pay for it? The taxpayers." Like, not in that you haven't been in that position where you need food. People need food to be able to function. Kids
Yeah.
need food to be able to learn.
Because children shouldn't go hungry ever. That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
it's the bottom line. That's the bottom line.
That's
Isn't it?
it.
There's
Like
no.
the whole point of taxes is to like improve your overall society. You pay to society to keep society running, right? So your taxes will go on like building work and just like general things like paving the roads and maintaining electricity and water lines and all of that sort of stuff. But it also goes towards like good education, healthcare, food for these starving children because no child should have like oh man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So accessibility. You and me kind of, I think, have got the same. You fell into it. It was, yeah. I very much fell into it. It was never. I don't think it's the career anyone sits there after uni or whatever and goes, "I'm going to work in accessibility." I think 90% of the people I've met fell into it.
Yeah, and I think it comes very much from just like being in the space. But I do notice that a lot of people that work in accessibility are people that have accessibility needs and are very aware of it generally. But I think accessibility is also kind of a scary word for some. Like, it sounds like it's a lot of work and like really difficult because like how do you think of all the various ways to make something accessible to all the millions of people and all their varying needs? It seems like a very big like like weight of the world on your shoulders kind of job. Which I think it can be depending on your level of seniority in the space,
Yeah.
but it's really much more accessible than people think it is. And it's very welcoming to people who just accidentally wanted to do the things that need to be done.
Yeah. It's
You know?
it's a community that I always say that if you give a shit, they'll give a shit.
Yeah.
That's how
Pretty much.
accessibility works. If you're the one thing I say to people about accessibility is if you care, the community will help you because you care as well.
That's it.
That's it. It's a great community. It's the best community I've ever come across in any social space. I would die on that hill because one, we all have the same end goal, which is we just want everyone to be able to play video games.
Yeah.
And two, 90, as you've said, 90% of us have got disabilities. So we understand one another's battles. Every day is a different day. And they're just good people because they're putting themselves
Yeah.
out. They're just putting themselves out there, getting a lot of abuse normally on social media or blowback at work or whatever.
Mhm.
And at the end, they're just good people, and we all give a shit, and we all want the same thing. And that's people I say to people when like you get all the time. How did you become an accessibility consultant? And it's like because I started off by giving a shit,
Yeah.
and you have to. That's the biggest thing for me. If you can put someone in front of me that's a new accessibility advocate that's looking to become a consultant, and the first thing is if you're not going to give a shit, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
And tell everyone like who does accessibility is in it for the love,
Yeah.
not.
Oh, we're definitely not. We're not in it for the
What
money.
money?
Yeah.
What money?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. What money?
Before I joined Nothing Without Us, I haven't paid a single penny for accessibility work. Like everything I've done is volunteer because I care. That's it. And like I know that that's a problem that people should pay you for your time, blah blah blah. But unfortunately, we live in a society, and that society
Doesn't always work like that.
doesn't really give money where money is due in every single place. It's not just accessibility.
No.
This is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like so. I do it for the love of it, and I do it because I don't want to live in a world where people don't do things to help others. Do you know what I mean? Like if any piece of work or content creation or whatever that I've ever made has made a game easier to play or has encouraged a studio to do something like release accessibility settings early so that gamers can find out what they actually can play before they spend their
Yeah.
money And being disabled is expensive in general. Most disabled people have a lot of extra expenditures, whether that's like healthcare stuff or like
Mobility.
mobility things in the home, or like I don't know, somebody to take you on a tour somewhere because you can't get around properly,
Yeah.
or like all sorts of things. A
Someone to take you
carer.
out for a day because you don't leave the
Yeah.
house all week or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's so expensive to just exist as a disabled person, and it gets even more expensive when you want to actually live a life rather than just exist. So yeah, for me, it's super important that like the little steps along the way are focused on, and just making sure people can, actually make informed choices, because it gets difficult. There's so many games.
That's one of the things that I love about your content and other content creators is I don't do it because I tend to do a lot of the stuff behind the scenes where I work with the games companies and do it that way. I haven't got the time to then produce content that sits there and says, this is coming out with all of this and these accessibility settings. And also, I'm not as good as it as you, to put it bluntly. I said it.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
I'm not as good as...
We can end the podcast now.
Yeah. But no, I'm not as good as it as others. So it's like I've said to Cameron before, because Cameron's come to me and he said, why don't you do? And I'm like, because I'm not as good as it at others. I am not good at making preempted content. I can make content on the fly, but there is content creators out there that do accessibility breakdowns a lot better, like yourself. And
I mean, the actual creating content for accessibility breakdowns is a little newer for me at the moment, because for my health has only really been like slightly improved over the last year now that my meds to kind of tampen down my autoimmune disease are working. So I'm finding myself with a few more hours a week to actually give to this sort of thing. So the accessibility reviews, we're not really going to be doing that sort of thing with Nothing Without Us, but there's going to be content about accessibility in games that will touch on those topics.
Yeah.
But like me personally on my regular like content channels, I don't have the energy for it. Like there are some incredible people that make really good gaming focused accessibility content. Aravia is one of them. You got Molly, Lil Motak,
Steve Saylor.
You've got some incredible, fantastic people that do specific accessibility focused content, and I love them. Keep doing it. You're wonderful. I just don't have the energy for it. I'm barely hanging on as it is, just making content that makes me happy. And then every other part of my life is disability. I just can't do it. I can't add more of my precious hours specifically creating content just about being disabled. So for me, I'm going to do that with Nothing Without Us, because then I have like that kind of guidance and that team where I can write a script and go over it with everybody and make sure that it's like actually something that's worth putting out.
Yeah.
And that helps me a lot to just have that like kind of just team to support me in that as well.
You've just touched on it briefly, which is a great segue. Your role at Nothing Without Us. I always say Nothing About Us. It's
He
Nothing
always
Without Us.
says nothing about us. Even when we were there.
That's because nothing is about us. No, it's fine. Carry on.
Because it's Nothing Without Us about us. Nothing about us without us, isn't it? And that's where I always get so bloody mixed up. But what is your role, and what will you be doing with the wonderful Jarves and Little Motak?
So my official role is content creator. That is what I've been hired to do. It involves a bunch of different things, but essentially, I write a lot of scripts. I record a bunch of videos. And then we also just kind of work together a lot on various ideas of like, how can we support disabled people within the games industry? What kind of content can we create to like kind of increase the exposure of like good people in the industry that are doing good work? We want to be able to kind of hopefully get time like with some companies to try and help kind of improve the overall like treatment of all the either the disabled people in their companies, or like with the events that they hold. Like, are they giving good thought to like, can disabled people come to your event, whether that's like creators, devs, or just people that want to get into the industry in general. So our overall goal is just to make it a hell of a lot easier to be a disabled person in the UK games industry. That is the goal. And
Nice.
hopefully some of the content I write and produce will hopefully go some way towards making it better for people.
No, there's something you've just said there that recently it's kind of game launch season. We've had the pre-Christmas one, we've had the month and a bit where nothing get launched, and now over the next 2 months we've got more games coming out than I can possibly play. But
We'll finish.
yeah.
Finish.
So you see it all the time, and it's like, I know for a fact there's games coming out that have got disabled content creators on the credits because they've helped with accessibility. Yet there's in-person events happening, and I haven't seen one disabled content creator go to these events. And it's like, hold on, it's okay when you want us to work on your game, potentially for free, because you'll give us a copy of a game, which I don't see as payment because that doesn't cost you a penny because you've made the game. But when it comes to an event that would highlight, maybe give that person a bit of a exposure, maybe give that person a bit of a boost inside the content creation space, all of a sudden it's we're not going to invite you. And I'm seeing that more and more and more over the last 18 months.
Yeah, I don't live in the UK anymore.
No.
So I don't get invited to anything for like because I don't, my content isn't in Dutch. So the actual like Dutch side of the industry, only Xbox so far has spoken to me or like worked with me or invited me to anything, and they've been fucking fantastic. They have been incredible. Like I went to a Christmas event for them, and literally it was just like everybody wins when everybody can game sort of thing, and they'd like set up a whole thing. They made sure that the place was wheelchair accessible, and they had this like ball pit game where people could dive into a ball pit, search around for special like balls, and then if they got enough of them they won a prize. And they were like, yeah, you can't do that, so they just got me a big box, filled it with all the like balls and stuff, and it had a big hole in it, and they were like, okay, we're gonna do one with you, right, go. And then I would dive my hand in and try and pick things out, and they literally made a special little version of their game event for the one disabled person who was attending.
I'm under
the
NDA.
one wheelchair user.
Yeah, I'm under NDA
right?
from Xbox, but when I have done things with them, no, you don't have to cut it out because I'm not going to go into detail, but they're bloody amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not under NDA or anything, but like I don't get invites to like UK games events and stuff anymore just because I simply don't live there. But back when I used to live in the UK, even then, I noticed a lot of the times that like I would get invited to events, but if I needed a wheelchair that day, I wouldn't have been able to do much at said event. Because I would probably have to either get out of the wheelchair and go down some steps, if I'm able to do that, or I just don't go into the main area of the event. Like even now when there's been such a push over the last like decade in the games industry to care about disabled people and disabled gamers, and you know, the Game Awards with the innovation and accessibility that they very swiftly moved to the pre-show.
I think that's 2-3 years running now they've done that.
It pisses me off so much. All that fucking work. Sorry, I'm gonna get really annoyed.
Yeah. Go for it.
Man, the work that people put into making their games accessible is incredible. It is incredible, and it deserves more than 30 seconds in a fucking pre-show. I'm sorry. If you want to put content in your pre-show, do the developer interviews there at the pre-show. I don't give a shit. It's a Game Awards. Show the awards during the show.
It's an award. That's what pisses me off. It's become just another set
It's
of advert.
not fucking E3. I don't give a shit.
It's
like
become...
it's the.
We agree with you. We had a special on this with
it annoys me. It
Harriet
annoys
Frayling,
me so much
and we all went on full on rants because it's
It pisses me off so much because there's been like some great things that have been shown at the Game Awards over the years, and there's been good people that have been given, you know, the good like a time and attention, and but sometimes some of the choices I question them, which is my right to as a human being that cares about disabled people. But yeah, the games industry in the UK does have quite an issue with making their events accessible. So I don't know what the like issue is. I don't know if it's just the spaces aren't able to be made accessible. But in that case, shouldn't you choose a space that is accessible and then you can invite your disabled creators that maybe the disabled creators that worked on your game for you for free? Maybe it'd be nice to invite them to your like PR events, maybe. Like, they exist. There are a whole bunch of really awesome disabled creators out there. Can you like pretend to give a shit about them publicly, please?
So I once sat in a room with a mixture of content creators and developers and turned around to some very, very big content creators and was like, I'm guaranteed that if I've got more likely chance of selling a game to my community than you do. And they were like, what? And I was like, because my community come in and ask me questions about the game because they don't know whether they can play it. They're not in a position to play that game. They don't know whether they're in that position to play that game because they don't know what accessibility settings have got. They don't know what in-game settings, what features they've got that can help them actually physically play that game. They come to me, they come to you, to our streams, because one, we know what we're talking about.
Oh,
and two,
I always talk about it. Yeah.
And two, we
If
give them
anybody
the
asks.
time. We give them the time to ask us. We've got time for no matter how many people on our stream. If someone sits there and goes, would you reckon I could play this game? I've got this disability. I will sit there and go, right, don't care what's going on. I'll give you 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes of my time, 10 minutes of my time. Because at the end of the day, I don't want you going out and spending 60 quid on a game, 70 quid, 80 quid, even 100 quid if GTA get their way these days, then you can't play that game.
Yeah. And also it's a simple matter of the fact of like it doesn't take much of your time at all to actually like go through these things. And now that more developers are actually putting like web pages and stuff out with all of their accessibility settings available on there, it makes it so much easier sometimes to be like, hey, let's do a quick run through, blah, blah, blah. If there's any more detail that you need, here is a link for you. It takes no amount of time.
Assassin's Creed Shadows have just done it yesterday or the day before they released theirs.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
You did it for Outlaws, didn't you? When we played Star Wars Outlaws, when I was at you, as you went through the...
and someone came into chat when I was streaming it because I got early access. And they were like, I don't know if I better play it. What have they got? And I was like, actually, they've got loads. You should be all right. And it's because it's not like I'm going to sit there and go.
The only reason I went to stay with them.
Yeah.
5 days early access.
Yeah. So it's nice and give us access to that game because people. As I say to people all the time, it's not. I know it's the downside to working in the games industry is you have to prove certain situations that you can make a games company money. It's how it works. There's a necessary evil sometimes in this job, and I hate it. But you have to do it. And you sit there and
that's the thing.
You say to people all the time, look, if you give me access to your game, there's more likely I can sell a few copies of it to someone because I'll give them the time of the day to talk to them about the accessibility of it, rather than someone that's got 1,000 viewers that's just screaming and shouting at your game. And this community aren't there to watch this game, they're there to watch the streamer.
I can't remember what study it was, but there have been studies that looked at the success rate of like conversion for small, mid-range, and like high-tier creators in regards to like viewership. And they found that the people that are more often in the middle, the like 40 to 100 range, will often have a higher rate of conversion for any like advertisement on the game. Creator like community is usually a little bit more tight knit. They trust the creator a little bit more a lot of the time, and there's just a whole there's a whole thing, the whole study. If you're a business person that's trying to figure this stuff out, do your research, because there's so much research out there that proves that the 1,000 plus viewer creators aren't always the best for promoting your game.
They're definitely the most expensive though.
Like if you have 1,000 plus viewers at a time, good on you. Like get your bag, whatever. But like in general, there is so much nuance to creation, and when it comes to advertising, that you gotta like look at all of the various communities. Plus, Plus, disabled people have money, like as a collective. Not every disabled person. Some disabled people don't get any support whatsoever and just can't function. But there is a lot of money that can be spent within just disabled people as a whole. And when you exclude that entire demographic, you are closing yourself off from potentially a good amount of money. Because guess what? Disabled people want to have fun too. We want to enjoy things.
And that's going on a t-shirt.
Oh, not giving me a t-shirt again.
Disabled people just want to have fun.
Yep.
Oh,
See, that'd be great on a t-shirt. It's got many different connotations as well.
yeah, we've got like 20 different t-shirt ideas that have come out. A Curb Away from Death is the name of his autobiography.
So
I like that.
yeah.
God
Somebody
knows
in my
what.
stream, like the day before yesterday or yesterday. No, it was yesterday. Came into the stream and they were like, "Oh, you should put that on a t-shirt." And I didn't remember what I said, but I was like, I was just talking, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm getting fucked by an albinoric woman," and they were like, "Yeah, put that on the t-shirt."
Out of context clips are great. Yeah. Let's have, before we jump onto the next segment, let's talk about what game are you playing at the moment.
Lies of P. I just started Lies of P last week, and I love it already. It is incredible. The combat, fantastic. Like, I love it. But I'm also currently playing Crowd Control Elden Ring because I wanted to challenge myself this month to try and get better at these kinds of games because I've only played through Elden Ring twice, and like I think I'm okay at it, but
Yeah, only
I could be
twice.
I could be better.
Yeah.
I'm regretting that choice
Yeah.
currently. I am very much stuck on a boss that I have to beat, otherwise I cannot finish the game. Although, okay, wait, maybe not.
So for those listeners that don't
Okay,
know what it is,
alright.
how does crowd control on Elden Ring work?
Okay, so Elden Ring, for those of you that aren't aware, is a FromSoft video game, open world, Souls game, where you go through the world, do some quests, get some items, beat some bosses, and the cycle continues, right? Crowd Control is I guess an app, a utility that creators can use, where their viewers will either get free coins from the streamer just from being there, or they can pay to get more coins, and they can spend those to like affect the game somehow. So they can make your character really fast or really slow. They can cause you to take damage. They can spawn in enemies, or they can spawn in help. Like there's basically all sorts of different ways that they can affect your game. And I figured, why not do a Elden Ring randomizer, so make the game harder for myself, but then also I'll add crowd control, so chat can choose whether they want to make it worse or easier on me.
I take it they haven't made it easier.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
a walk in the park.
They've started to feel sorry for me at this point.
Oh, that's when you know it's
so-
in the park.
That's when you know
So-
you're down bad. Yeah.
So yesterday they were a bit nicer to me and they tried to help me get past this fight. Okay, so in Elden Ring, there is this fight called the Valiant Gargoyle Duo. It is the worst possible fight because not only are they really fast and annoying and they fly around, not only do they basically not have any weaknesses, so you can't use like bleed on them and things like that to kill them quicker. They shoot out huge pools of poison directed at you that don't just poison you, but also do 300 tick damage. So, if you're anywhere near this pool of poison, when they spray it out, if you don't get out of it within about 3 seconds, you're dead.
Oh,
So,
see,
that's fun,
that's my idea of hell.
right? So, I'm at the fire giant fight, and you kind of have to get past the fire giant fight to activate the burning of the tree so you can go and finish the game. There is another way to do it, but I think I'm going to have to cheat in the randomizer and find the flame frenzied ending game item somewhere. But anyway, I'm stuck on this fire giant fight because not only do I have to fight the Valiant Gargoyle Duo in this really like awkward arena, but that's only phase 1. So,
yeah,
phase
that's what I
2
was saying.
is Ancient Dragon Placidosax, who is a really difficult fight. A massive dragon who just shits red lightning everywhere.
It should probably be Welsh.
I don't think I'm ever beating this randomizer. Like, I don't think I could do it. Like, that's too much.
Oh no, yeah. I just know what my stream would be savage. I wouldn't even get around like past the first boss fight because I'd just
Yeah, it'd be exclamation point Wobbles. Wobbles is fucked up 85 times.
um
That's being generous.
that's
85
being
times.
generous. Yeah. We've had so far in the game, single player games I've played, we had a horse rest in peace counter playing Red Dead 2. Because I'd
Did you?
I just crashed it. My mate messaged me after I streamed it, and he is a huge Red Dead 2 fan. He messaged me and went, I never thought anyone could be shit at playing Red Dead 2 until I watched you play it. I was like, wow. And then we got onto Star Wars Outlaws, and I had a speeder crash counter because
Yep.
just every 2
I'm
seconds.
so bad with the speeder in Outlaws.
Yeah.
Like there's genuinely like a clip of me spinning around and around and slamming into a wall so that I could get off the speeder because I couldn't figure out how to get off of it.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And then there's just like one where I'm in slow motion trying to shoot people, and then when I come back to, the camera turns around and I just slam into the massive animal and go flying. I'm so bad with the speeder. I can't. I can't. I'm bad. I don't have a driving license, so I think I have an excuse.
I've
But-
got an excuse on that one. I can't see, so it's fine.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I am too disabled. Please don't judge me.
I
What about
think.
you, Wops?
What's
have
that?
you been
What have I
What
been
have you been
playing? What have I been playing, Cameron? I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 still
Mm.
to complete that for 2. I have had a few days off stream because I've been ill, like rough. So I've had a few days off, and it's also FC25 Team of the Year. So I have been playing a lot of FC25 for my sins. But other than that, not a lot. Started War Tales with Tito, Pal, and Big Ham from my stream. If you do regularly watch my stream, we've been playing War Tales off stream, which is a good laugh. We completed For the King 2, which again was a really good game that surprised me. I was really surprised by For the King 2 because I didn't think I'd enjoy the pace, but actually with 3 friends, it was phenomenally good fun.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, like, if a game offers that sort of experience, the friends can really make it.
Yeah, because I
You know?
wouldn't have played. I wouldn't have got past the first half hour on my own. I don't think, because it's turn based. It's a bit slower, but when you've got people kind of doing it with you and you talk about what you're doing next, where you go in, your tactics in battle and all that, it's turn based. It brings a
Yeah.
whole new element to turn based, I think. What about yourself, Karen? I know what you've been playing.
I finished Persona 3 Reload. My first ever Persona game. I really enjoyed it. I was going to move straight on to Persona 4, but then I had a code come through for Sniper Elite, which I can talk about now because when this goes out, the embargo will be gone.
Hey.
So yeah, I've been playing Sniper Elite Resistance the last couple of days. I'm going to go through on Authentic eventually once I know all the map and all the layouts.
Yeah, that's.
We're going to be streaming it.
Yes,
or
we
have
will.
streamed it.
But
So,
yeah, no. Shall
yeah,
we
but
first of all say thank you, Radderss, for the first
Yeah.
segment, opening up about yourself a bit and telling us all about who is Radderss and what you
Why
do.
is
I'm gonna be
Radderss?
honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. Why is Gamora? Yeah, I don't think I did a very good job of it.
No, you've done perfectly.
Just saying, because I'm. Here's the thing, right? I'm kind of a mess right now. I am waiting on the results of my ADHD assessment. I find out next month, and right now I'm just like, my brain is a mess. I can't find head nor tails of most sentences, and I'm just like, I'm tired, and I've done a lot of talking about my mental space in the last couple of weeks, and talking about like my struggles of adulthood and all my struggles in childhood, and now I'm just like, please tell me please tell me what's wrong with me and then help me so that I can function again. Because I don't even remember anything we've just talked about. Like, that's how bad my brain is at the moment. I'm just kind
That's
of,
what the recording's for.
Yeah.
I'm like a cat, right? And cats just live in the moment. Anything that's happened after them, but behind them, but past, doesn't matter.
No.
Is what it is.
But
And something might come back to bite them in the ass later, but who cares? It's life.
Accessibility podcast called To Put It Bluntly.
Hello everyone, it's back with patch notes, and it's news from a number of different places, from the good to the bad to the ugly. I think we'll start with mixed news from Radderss about the upcoming game.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Breaking news. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 fans have been divided by gay. Back to you.
Back to you, the studio.
No. I wanted to have a little talk about the fact that there is some controversy surrounding Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 that just keeps on going. There was somebody had put a fake tweet out saying that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was banned in Saudi Arabia, or was going to be banned, because of an unskippable gay sex scene. Please. The sex scene, I mean.
No, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, no. I mean, Saudi Arabia could do what it wants. I'm never going there. Ban all the games. I'll just play them for you. It's fine. And let's just say the homophobes got a little mad. Because you see, there are these people that are paid to promote culture war and division so that, election interference, yada, 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 division of societies, yada, 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 destabilizing your enemies, yada, yada, yada. We could go into a whole political thing, but I won't. But what I will say is there are some people out here who are only here to divide us. And the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 gay scene controversy is purely whipped up and manufactured to keep you distracted, to keep you angry, and to separate you from others so that you don't look at the real problems in society. And I cannot wait. To stream Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and specifically go down the gay romance route.
it
To
baffles me.
keep the homophobes away from me.
It baffles me because, one, it's not hurting anyone. That's obvious. But
No.
two, they've not done any research because every single scene in Kingdom Come 1 is skippable. That's what got me. I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
They don't go make the next one and go, right, the first one had skippable cutscenes, the second one we're not going to bother. We're going to force you to watch everything. So it's like, well, one, you've done the least amount of research possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And two, when the games company came out and were like, you don't actually have to do it, it's not part of the storyline, all of a sudden it was still an issue
it's
because
optional,
it's optional. And then people were like, oh my God, but it's still in the game. It's like, so your issue with it, first of all, was it was forced. And then second of all, your issue now is it in the game? Can you make your mind up whether the issue is being forced or whether it's in the game? And
They can't.
They can't, no.
They will always move the goalposts so
Yeah.
that they continue being angry and raging. Because honestly, for those people that are still mad about it, even though it's optional, their goal is to erase the existence of people of color and LGBTQIA people. To them, a piece of media is not acceptable unless those people are erased from it. The people that they consider undesirables, like they want us to simply not exist in anything. Like they can't quite get rid of us in real life, but they need to in their gaming media. It's saddening, honestly, and I kind of pity those people because how sad your life has to be for you to be this filled with this rage, you know?
It's that and how...
To not be able to like enjoy the beauty of life and how fucking interesting things can be because there might be a black person in it. What is your problem? I don't give a fuck if 1402 like Bohemia like and they go, oh, let's just put a person of color in. Guess what? People migrated throughout all of history.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
And
It's
there's always been like gay people, lesbians.
Yeah. There's always been people who are gay or lesbian or bisexual or gender fluid, or maybe they don't
Yeah.
ascribe to any gender at all. Like, these people have always existed. Black people have always existed. People of color have always existed in every form.
It's like none of them watched Spartacus, did they? Jesus Christ, look at them.
Yeah, Spartacus, my reality, right there. I base all of my tenets of reality on Spartacus.
I thought you said Sporticus. I was thinking, damn, Lazy Town didn't use
Ah,
Oh my god.
I'm gonna break a pretty cake. You know you can't be lazy.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's
optional, so you don't have to do it.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it baffles me. I can't. And they idolize these absolute plums, and that's me being very, very, very
And
polite.
it's so funny because they're all of these pretty awful grifters who are simply there to
Cameron, is it you that knows the stat? How much money
money.
did he make on that video game that's not had anything other than a vertical slice of about 20 seconds?
God.
Oh, Grums?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about
That
buddy.
fucking
It
prick.
was like 450 million, weren't it? It's not a small amount of money.
Yeah, I think they raised it about that much. Yeah, but
He is rinsing his fans
course he
for
is.
every fucking penny they've got. And he just keeps stirring up shit to distract from him.
It's
And it's what all of these grifters do.
He's the games industry's
of
Donald
them.
Trump.
They basically just spend their time whipping up controversies that don't fucking exist and don't mean anything, so
Yeah.
that they can get ad revenue and clicks.
yeah, they've all got that tick. 1000%, they've all got that blue tick on elongated muskrats hellhole.
Yes, the Nazi bar.
Yep.
But it wasn't a Nazi salute.
He was just autistic,
Don't. That's
expressing himself with
that's the worst.
exuberance. Fuck
Yeah.
you. Like,
Oh.
actually, anybody that's defending that shit, fuck you.
I think that's
I don't
perfect
care.
time to move on. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
Wobbles, your news now.
My news is so everyone knows I'm a bit of a FC FIFA shill.
Ooh.
Bit.
A bit, all right.
We love shilling here.
I'm
Yeah.
massive. I can't deny it. I love the game, adore it. It's the
Press
reason
the
I got into
partner button.
it's the reason I got into accessibility. It's commonly known.
Yeah. Press the partner button and you get all the good cards.
Their stock dropped by 16.7% on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday, the 23rd? So Tuesday. And they announced that EA Sports FC25 game had underperformed in its preliminary report for the fiscal third quarter. So they say it's still not a small amount of money. EA now expects
16%.
EA now
60%.
expects net bookings of approximately 2.215 billion for quarter three, and an updated range of 7 billion to 7.1 billion for fiscal year 2025. So in the space of a year, they've dropped $3.5 billion, and people are claiming that drop is solely coming from FC25 because of the state of the game. The gameplay's horrendous, or was actually. They've recently updated it to more of a playable situation, and it's just mad, isn't it? That they're saying it's one franchise with inside EA's issues.
I have seen they've said about Veilguard as well. Like Dragon Age Veilguard that
There's-
underperformed as well.
There's issues with Veilguard underperforming, FC underperforming. I'm pretty sure pre-orders for Shadows are
Yeah.
underperforming. And unfortunately, we're kind of approaching the stage of globally, none of us have any fucking money.
Yeah, do you think
Of course your
it's
sales-
got to be the games?
Of course, your
yeah.
game sales are going to underperform at the moment compared to games that you released 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Because 5 years and 10 years ago, we had more fucking money because we didn't have a pandemic that then funneled like a huge portion of money up to the richest away from the poorest. Like,
So
yeah, we can't afford your games. We can't buy your games to play them when we already have FC 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, because you make those games every year. Like, people can't afford.
have you heard of a content creator called Jesse Cox?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love Jesse.
I love Jesse Cox so much, and
I love
he
Jesse.
tweeted about GTA, and it went quite far, and he just went, look, it's when the rumours of GTA hit £100, that rumours it's going to be $100, and he just turned around and he went, where the fuck does he think people are getting this money from to pay this much for a game?
Yeah.
And he was like, it's their fault for putting too much money into the game.
Yeah.
To make it this price. They're covering their expenses, basically. They're covering how much they've spent. And as he turned around and said, that's their problem. Gamers can't... There's a world crisis at the moment where
fucking subsidise
no one can
your poor
subsidise...
decisions.
Yeah, no one can subsidise 90 quid. So it'd work out to be about 90 quid, $100, if it is rumoured to be that much.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it will be, but there will be editions that are that much.
yeah,
so
there will be, and
special
I don't
stuff,
mind
but-
so much if you do release a limited edition that's that much. That then puts the option to someone to pay the premium to get something premium inside the game. That's not an issue. But when it's the sole standard edition, it's the biggest game of the year, the biggest game of the century, could be arguably, whatever you want to say so far. Everyone's been waiting 5 years for this game, and we're still waiting for a date for it. You then can't turn around and go, right, here's $100. And the other thing is, I don't know what's kind of, but from our perspective, not one accessibility announcement. And if I can't physically sit there and go, I'm going to spend, I can, because luckily I'm in a fortunate position with work I do and career and things like that. But there is millions and millions and millions of disabled people that will sit there and go, I am not spending $100 on a game to not... Radderss, finger up in the air. There you go.
Me.
Yeah.
I genuinely, I'm living paycheck to paycheck right now.
Yeah, you can't.
So
It's not a small amount of money.
I don't have 100 because it'll be €100. That's the thing. If it goes like 90 quid, it'll be €100 straight up. So I don't have that money.
That's a weekly shop. Or not in the UK at the moment with the price of food.
I was going to say,
yeah.
I've got an asshole cat who had to have 13 teeth removed, and then we're still paying off the bills. So sorry, but she's expensive, and all of my savings are gone. So unless you're gonna lower the prices of your games a little bit, lower your, I don't know, maybe you don't spend so much money on a video game if you can't release it at a price that is affordable for the community.
It's what gets me with GTA is you're going to get a lot of their budget is going to be marketing. It's the most expensive part of video games.
Yeah.
They don't need to spend it on marketing.
They'll get all like streamers in like that case.
Here's the thing. You do need to spend some money on marketing,
but when it's
as is evidenced by a lot of commercial failures who didn't really market, and they were like, we've got a cool, interesting game.
Xbox,
like, I think it was like Unknown went off, like didn't sell very well. But you named your game Unknown, and then 2, you didn't spend any money on marketing.
But with regards to GTA 6, they've got the hype there already. They don't need to then
they
have
could literally just.
They don't need to spend
on a billboard.
They could,
they could.
Just the number 6.
Yeah.
Don't have to be the Roman numeral, just the number.
It would go viral in seconds.
And their Rockstar logo, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I know they're dickheads, but
all they have to do is put up a billboard with, don't even put a 6, just put the Rockstar logo and the release date.
It would go viral.
Everyone will lose their fucking minds.
It would be the best marketing ever done. People would sit there and go, "That's the most ingenious marketing scheme a games company's ever done," because they've just used the power of social media to do their marketing for them. Look at I know I don't like them, but the Prime energy drink, they've never spent a penny really on marketing because they let it do it for themselves. They let everyone do it for them. And a games company of Rockstar's size with the biggest game launch of the century so far would be the same. And then they could go, right, we ain't got to spend the money on marketing. Let's not charge $100 for this game. Obviously, this is all very perspective, but yeah.
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work for any other game, I don't think. Like,
No, but I do think that, like you've said, the drop prices in EA, the stock shows the state of the industry.
Yeah.
It's not... That's not... I can tell you that's probably not come from people spending less money on in-game purchases on FC 25. That's come from people not buying the game because they haven't got the money. That's why something like Game Pass, people would rather spend 20 quid on Game Pass a month at the moment because of that reason.
Because they can't afford to buy all of the games that they want to play.
No, they can't. It's that simple. If in February, there is 4 games releasing that I want. 3 of them are luckily on Game Pass, and one of them I will probably 3 of them. I believe it's free. 3 will be on Game Pass. Avowed's on Game Pass. Sniper's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I'd get a code for that anyway, but that doesn't matter. I've got Xbox Game Pass. So to put it into perspective, instead of spending 80, 160, 240, 300 quid on games, I'm spending 100 quid on games because one of them I'll have to buy and the rest are on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And it puts it into perspective when people go, why does everyone love Game Pass so much? Why is it so successful? Because it makes gaming affordable when it's not at the moment.
And even if it isn't a success, like, people who love the Xbox can just bankroll it, even if it's not, financially successful. They can just bankroll it.
PlayStation people won't ever get it. They're like, how does Xbox Game Pass work? How does it financially stable? It's really easy when you've got Microsoft bankrolling you.
Yeah.
Look what happened when Microsoft 365 went down 2-3 months ago. The world collapsed for 6 hours. No one could do anything because everything runs off Microsoft.
Yeah.
But
oh my god, the cloud strike as well.
Yeah,
that was rough.
Yeah, and it is the word, and everyone's like, "Is this what Sony won't ever compete?" I'm not a fan. I'm not a console fanboy at all. I am a console fanboy, but I'm not a console wars person. I appreciate both consoles, both systems, and PC.
You've got both, so
I've got both, and I appreciate them both. But Sony people don't understand that Microsoft won't ever lose. Xbox won't ever have to worry financially because they're bankrolled by Microsoft. It's a no-brainer for them. Even if they kind of get near to their profit, even if they kind of get near to breaking even, Microsoft are going to go, well, that's fine. It's all right.
Breaking even would be amazing. I don't think they'd ever break even.
Yeah, and it's not going to impact them, and that's why Game Pass works. And Game Pass makes gaming affordable. And I say to people, Game Pass is an accessibility feature for me.
Yeah.
Because you can't get demos. There isn't such a thing as a demo these days.
To be fair, like on the PlayStation Store, I've noticed quite recently there's been a few demos there. Like
I think
one for Metaphor, Refantasio.
I've seen a bunch more demos now as well. And yeah, it's really good, especially because of just how expensive everything is these days. If you can't do something like Game Pass because you can't afford a subscription service, or you might have issues like I have where you forget that you're paying for something and then it turns out that you have no money anymore because the only money is going out of your bank account for services that you had previously forgotten that you had signed up for. So if you're like me and you're trying to very specifically avoid getting any more subscription services so you don't put yourself in financial issues, these demos are so fucking essential to like just knowing if you can, 1, play a game, 2, you would enjoy it. At least Steam has a 2-hour refund window policy, where you can buy a game, play it, and if you go, this really isn't for me, because that happens sometimes.
It's cool. I love that feature on Steam.
Oh, thank you, Steam.
Yeah.
For that. Yeah.
So let's move on to Cameron's news. So
yep. Ooh. Mine's a bit less heavy, we say. So Ted Price, the founder of Insomniac, is retiring. He helped form it in 1994 when it was called Extreme Software. So everything was extreme in the 90s.
Yes, it was.
Extreme, and it's got the X. It's not the EX, it's just the X. So it's extreme. He helped create Spyro, Ratchet and Clank, Resistance. So obviously three, I'd say big franchises, but forgotten franchises now really, like Ratchet and Clank's last outing was a couple of years ago. Resistance is God knows how long, and Spyro is technically owned by Microsoft now, so he's been replaced by 3 people, so it's taken 3 people to replace him. So
that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's literally done 3 people's job for 30-40 years.
Yeah, so
I actually don't mind that they're replacing him with 3 people, because if it's especially a thing of like they don't want there to be like one powerful person who can make or break any decision, like there's some kind of level of accountability there. If there's multiple people who have to like approve certain things, it kind of removes that potential for an abuse of power a little bit.
But, from what I've seen, like he's quite popular with everyone. Like So a lot of people wishing him well, like Shuhei Yoshida
I mean, shit.
just left himself.
The state of this industry as a whole, the ups and downs throughout all the years, and he managed to survive
I was
30
gonna say,
years in
so
the
30
industry.
years.
Yeah.
So what headlining
Good on him.
headlining
Like,
Insomniac
enjoy
Studios?
your retirement, please. Enjoy it.
Yeah,
That's
he's
since 1994, so
so
before
what-
I was born.
before. What other games is he
I
headlined then?
was,
That's
I
like the
was
biggest.
small baby.
Spider-Man. Any
Spider-Man,
game
yeah.
from Insomniac, yeah. Any game from Insomniac.
Do you reckon there's
since-
anyone out there with a better portfolio?
Ooh,
That is a question.
That's a collect because there can't be surely that's got a better portfolio than 30 years of Insomniac on them titles.
yeah,
The only
'cause
thing I could think of is maybe well, ooh. Oh, it
that's right.
depends, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because you've got like Miyazaki, who has created some of the most fucking groundbreaking games ever. Like
A genre.
literally, he created a genre
Yeah.
of
yeah.
things. You know? Oh no, this is difficult.
Yeah, see, it's hard.
Kojima as well.
I
isn't
was
he?
thinking
Yeah,
Kojima
yeah.
would be one up there.
Kojima, yeah. And then you've got you can kind of put Todd Howard in that category, I think. A little bit.
Yeah.
Because Skyrim,
Oh, what's
the Elder Scrolls series is iconic. Completely iconic. And so many games try to emulate them.
Yeah. Amy
And
Hennig as
don't
well.
get it right.
Used to work at
So-
Naughty Dog.
Mm.
Developed the first three. I think the first three Uncharted's. Jack and Daxter. And then she was working on a Star Wars game that was cancelled. Praise it, Star Wars game got cancelled.
What?
Yeah, but yeah, that's actually.
That never
really-
happens.
It's actually a really good point. Like, it is probably one of the best. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Spider-Man and the quality they've been working at, as well as the release.
That's what I mean. It's not just the.
Like, they've been coming thick and fast, and they've all been really good games.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring. Like they've not dropped a.
No. The ones who do Yakuza as well. Like,
RGG Studio.
yeah, they bring out like two.
Thank
they bring
you.
out 2 a year.
Thank you for the existence of the Yakuza game series.
So
Thank you so much. I cannot wait for the Pirate Like a Dragon
Oh,
that's coming out in
yeah.
February. I want to swing around being the most unhinged Majima possible. I
so
love those games.
I've not
Yeah.
played it like a dragon,
I've not played one,
but
and I've got
that
all-
game screams everything I wanted from Skull and Bones. It's mad
Mhm.
because Skull and Bones was one of my most anticipated games, and cliche as hell, I always say it has potential, but they just dropped a clanger on it.
Wasn't Skull and Bones the one where they said it was the first 4A game?
Yeah,
Yeah. Triple A, yeah.
yeah, and it was
Quadruple A yourself, mate. Like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
and I've never seen a game go from such expectations to such.
Took way too long to come out.
Yeah.
Because they were
But-
trying to capitalize on Black
Yeah,
Flag.
no,
so-
and with
no.
the Like a Dragon, I've seen some like early releases, gameplay footage, and things like that. I'm like, that looks so
Yeah.
much fun.
Samoa Joe's
Yeah.
in there, who's a popular wrestler as well. I don't know who he's playing in the game, but
But yeah, shall we
Yes.
move on and try and get Radderss some money for a charity?
Oh no.
So that's the end of patch
Yay.
notes. We will be back in 1 second.
Accessibility podcast called To Put It Bluntly.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Put It Bluntly, episode 3. We are now on to the part of the episode where we test Radderss's game knowledge, and hopefully we can win her some money for a charity of her choice. Much to Cameron's delight this week, I had my moment last week with Isaac picking Oblivion. This week, Radderss picked one of Cameron's favourite games, which happens to be Mass Effect 1. So we will be firing 5 questions at Radderss of varying degree of difficulty with regards to Mass Effect. And then we have to then jump onto the tiebreak question, where I will be randomising a letter from the alphabet, and you have 30 seconds to name as many games that start with that letter as possible. It's savage because when you get put on the spot, you instantaneously
Yeah.
forget everything. So
Yeah.
we know Don't worry, it happens all the
So-
time.
Yeah, Isaac was talking about a game earlier in this podcast that began with C. and
That
made me
that his studio works on,
yeah, that yeah.
and he didn't name it.
Fair.
So
So yeah,
we will start with the 5 questions on Mass Effect. I will be going first. In Mass Effect, which alien species is known to have the longest lifespan? This is multiple choice. You have A, Krogan, B, Asari, C, Turian, D. Oh, Cameron, you've put that in there just to make me try and say it, haven't you? Quarian?
Quarian.
Quarian. Which of them
Um,
species has the longest lifespan?
Sorry.
Oh, no hesitation. Nailed it.
Right, question 2. This is the other multiple choice one, and then from then on, they're no multiple choice. So, what was the name of the ship used by the Council during the final battle against Sovereign? The Battle Bus, the Eclipse Vanguard, the Destiny Ascension, the Flagship Omega.
The Destiny Ascension.
Correct.
She's
Good.
cold as well. She's got this.
I like the Battle Bus. That was a thought. in my brain.
Yeah.
The battle bus. The first thing I thought of was the party bus. It's like, where we dropping, boys?
Question number 3. What is the name of the Turian Spectre that Saren Artorias betrays at the beginning of the game? Oh, she's looking angry at herself because she knows the answer.
I do, but I don't. What is his name?
It's not Steve. I will give you that.
Saren is the bad guy. I honestly, I can't remember.
It's
At all.
Nihilus.
Nihilus.
Nihilus, yeah.
Willard.
Okay.
Question 4. Which species? There's a lot of species questions. Which species is the primary antagonist in the Mass Effect 1 mission, Bring Down the Sky?
Geth?
No, it's Batarians.
Oh, okay.
You know, the weird, like, 20 eyes kind of people.
Oh,
And, yep.
I'm
2 out
surprised.
of 4.
I know.
I don't know mission names. That's the thing. I love
yeah.
Mass Effect, but you asked me what mission happened and this thing. I don't know.
What first name is shared by both the voice actor and face model for the male shepherd? I knew this.
Mark.
Yeah, well done. I knew that one. I was quite impressed. I knew that one.
Yeah.
So that's 3 out of 5. I will now get a random letter generator up. Cameron, would you like?
I think that's for Isaac, isn't it? 3.
Yeah, Isaac had 3.
So,
So you'll have 30 seconds.
just tell me the letter when you're ready, because I got a list up of all the games.
Your
I have a
letter.
list up of every game ever.
Your letter is K. Kicking K.
Okay.
So
Your time will start when Wobbles says.
I'll give you a couple of seconds to kind of start thinking about games that begin with K.
Okay.
Ready, steady, go.
Kingdom.
Yep,
Kingdom 2.
yep.
Kingdom Come Deliverance. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Oh. Oh god. Now I'm struggling. Okay.
Got 5 seconds.
I don't know names.
It's fine because that was 4, and we think everyone is going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
We are
Some
convinced
of the
that
games, yeah. Some of the games you could have had are Kane and Lynch.
K's quite
Bridge of
hard.
Spirit, Kentucky Route Zero, Kerbal Space Program,
Oh, fucking KSP.
Kill It With Fire, Killer Frequency,
Oh, Killing Floor!
Killing Floor 2, Killing Floor 3, Killing Floor Incursion,
Ah!
Kingdom Hearts,
Oh my
2.5
god!
remix,
Oh, okay.
Kingdom Hearts 2.5 remix.
It's really easy when it's
How
really
did
easy.
I forget those existed?
It's great, isn't it? We think, don't
Yeah.
worry. We've said this to Isaac. We think every single person that does it is going to do the exact same thing, or there'll be one person that just gets onto a franchise that begins with that letter. So
And then keeps going on.
Isaac
and on
had
and on,
Isaac had C, and then we sat there, and I'd been playing the game that not that morning, but a couple of the morning before or something. Call of Duty. And we were like, if you just went Call of Duty 1, you would have cleaned up.
If Call of Duty had come in, you could have literally just come through every game.
Yeah, and so we think
Modern
everyone's going
Warfare
to do
3, Modern Warfare 3 remake.
Yeah, and it's what we said.
Choose the brigades.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen like that. So,
Oh man, yeah.
what charity, if you do win, would you like us to donate to, and why would you like us to donate to that charity?
I would really appreciate a donation to Hope Not Hate, which is a charity that educates, supports communities, and basically is working to oppose far-right extremism for no reason at all. Definitely didn't see a Nazi salute at any point recently.
Yeah.
That horrified me to my very core. But yeah, hatred is not something that I want to see in society, and I don't want to see our societies divided by it. So I would like to vehemently oppose it, and that's something they do.
I hit mute by mistake. Touch mic. Great fun. No, that sounds great. We will let you know if you do win, and we will do a donation on your behalf from myself and Cameron.
I won't win.
As of now, you're winning because you've got some tiebreaker. So
yep. So the Radderss, you're currently in the lead. It has been a pleasure to get you on. Honestly, you bring so much energy to everything you do. It's incredible, and you just, like we said earlier on, you give a shit. So it's amazing. You are such a great person, and the accessibility community is an absolute privilege to have you a part of it. So we like to end the episode by saying, I've been the Wobbly Gamer.
I've been Cameron.
That's been Radderss.
I've been Radderss.
And thank you very much for listening, and we will catch you next week.
To put it bluntly, accessibility podcast, to put it bluntly.